Is scientific thinking so mysterious, or does every child think a little like a scientist each day of his life? This program says he does.
The following is from NIT, National Instructional Television. Ripples.
What does your father do? What do you mean? Does your father have a job where he goes every day? I think so. He sells shoes to people. Does your daddy sell things? No, he's a scientist. What does he do? He does science kinds of things. What do you mean? I don't exactly know, but he's a good scientist.
What do you think of when you hear the word scientist? Do you think of a man peering through a microscope? Or do you think of a man with flashing machines? Or do you think of a man looking through a telescope, looking at faraway planets and stars? Or do you think of a person who studies animals, people, machines, or soil, or air that we breathe? You are right. These all may be scientists. And you think like a scientist too. I'll prove it to you. Are you hungry? Which one of these would you like to eat? Try this coat to eat. How about a crisp roller skate sandwich? Nobody likes to eat a roller skate sandwich? Can I hear you shouting? Something apple. How do you know that you can eat an apple? You know because you've been eating apples since you've been very small. First, your mother gave you cut up apple pieces. Then you got big enough to eat a half an apple. By now you have eaten so many apples that you know about appleness. If I just say the word apple, you see an apple picture in your head. Now suppose you want to go outside and it's cold. Which one of these things do you want to use to keep you warm? Let's try the apple. Oh, how about the roller skates? You know, I have them on and I don't feel warmer. You know that it is the coat that I want. But how do you know? You know because ever since you've been a small child, you know that coat means warmness. Now, when I say the word coat, what picture comes into your mind? Coat. Did you see the picture of the coat? Do you think I can walk across the room? Can you walk? How do you know that you can walk? You know that you can walk because you have been walking for years and years. Walking and 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 walking. The things that happen to you, your experiences, tell you what will probably happen again. And you are like a scientist. Every time you figure out what will happen again because it happened before. What things are to eat. What things are to wear. What you can do. How does the scientist who studies the weather know that it will probably be raining tomorrow? He knows because his measuring instruments show almost the same thing today that they showed when it rained yesterday, and last week, and last year. Do you know what it's like walking on the moon? How do you know? Do you actually have a picture in your mind of men walking on the moon? How can you have such a picture when you haven't been on the moon yourself? Did you see men walking on the moon on television? Or maybe you saw pictures in the newspapers. Or possibly you saw movies of men walking on the moon. Or maybe a large color picture on a magazine of men walking on the moon. You know about walking on the moon because people have told you about it through words and through pictures. You can understand things that you have seen by yourself. You can understand things that other people have seen and have told you about. But can you understand things that you cannot see at all by yourself? If you're a scientist, you have to understand such things. You have to make pictures in your mind of things that you cannot see at all. Let's perform a scientific experiment together. Watch. What happened? Let's do it again. The car came down the open road. Let's do the experiment again, but with a little change. Watch. What happened? Try it once more. Let's try another experiment on the covered road. Let's have a race. Go! What happened? One car disappeared. Let's try it again. middle card disappeared. Maybe one more time. Let's try it again. Here we go. What happened? Do you know? Can you think? Can you see a picture of in your mind of what happened underneath this this road? Underneath this track? If you can, you're thinking like a scientist. Why do scientists try to understand so many things in the world? Why is it so important to think like a scientist? How would remembering things you have done when you were smaller help you get that flying saucer off the roof? Every day, you think like a scientist. You figure out what will probably happen because of what happened before. Scientific thinking gives you the power to make things happen that you want to happen in the world. And if you become a scientist when you grow up, you'll find ways to understand the world around you. You will use what you understand to make things happen that will help other people. Help to feed people, to keep them healthy, or get them where they want to go.
What does your father do? He's a scientist. What do you mean?
Produced by the Northern Virginia Educational Television Association. Ripples was created by a consortium of 12 educational agencies in association with NIT, National Instructional Television.